Today at Battery Guyz Nation, we're installing a battery in a 2018 Jeep Renegade. To begin this project, we need a 13mm socket to take off the battery bracket itself, which is located directly behind the battery itself. Just use that to kind of slowly unloosen the battery bracket, which is a screw that's holding down the bracket itself. Your next step is you want to take off the negative terminal, which is also known as the ground. You use a 10mm socket or a wrench to try to take off this negative terminal. Today we have Matt, our super installer, that's trying to get this negative terminal off right here. And we have Brian in the background as well, that's assisting as well. As you can see, we're trying to get this negative terminal off of this battery post. So your next step is you want to try to get a flathead screwdriver. If you can't use the big pliers to try to wiggle it off, back and forth, kind of rock it, left to right, to kind of lift up on it. Our next trick we use is a flathead screwdriver that we're also going to demonstrate here in the video as well. We're going to try to stick that underneath and try to plier up on it a little bit. See, we're going to try to lift up on it, but this terminal is stuck on this negative battery post. It's giving us a hard time, but these are some of the tricks we use if you come across this issue. Your terminal might not have this issue. You might be able to just use your 10mm socket and it comes right loose. You have no issue at all, which is a great thing. So what we're doing now is there's a little crease right there in the center. As you see right there, we're basically trying to open up that the wiring of this battery terminal. And you stick that flathead, get a flathead and kind of bam it down a little bit. It'll kind of widen it up a little bit. You'll be able to use your pliers to hopefully wiggle it off. So you want to use a little thin flathead, and right in the center you will see a little slit. You want to try to stick that in right there in the middle, kind of open it up a little bit just to get a little widen so you'll be able to take this terminal off this battery post. Okay, we got that off. Now you want to proceed to take off the positive terminal nets. Use your 10mm socket as well. But as you can see, the trick to get that terminal off, you want to use a flathead and basically put it in the crease of that terminal and kind of open it up a little bit so you'll be able to take it off the post itself if you ever run across this issue of installing a battery. But there's a battery bracket as well behind it as well. So what we're doing, we're reaching behind it. Make sure that we grab that screw before we take the battery out, because we don't want to lose that screw in the engine itself. We have to do this numerous times, trust me. You lose that screw in this engine, you won't find it. So we know to get that screw out first before we actually take the battery out. And that frees up the battery bracket. Releases, you lift up on the battery itself, comes directly out. We're installing it directly back into this vehicle. We're using the world's best reconditioned battery. It's Battery Guyz with a Z, as seen on TV as well. You need at least about 650 to 750 ccas. It's known as the cold cranking amps to properly keep this vehicle running with all your electronics, windows, AC, power and everything. 650 above. Okay, so what we're doing now, we're tightening up the positive terminal back onto this battery itself. Once you get that, you want to tighten up your negative terminal last, which is also known as the ground. What we're doing, we're using a 10mm socket, or you can use a wrench as well. Now we're going to insert the battery bracket. Get that flushed back in, smooth, flat at the bottom of the battery box itself. Once we get that flushed down and we can see the hole in the battery box, then you want to grab your screw and start that with your hands. Kind of slowly get the groove in, tighten it up a little bit with your hand first, a little bit, before you actually use your 13mm socket to continue to tighten up the bolt itself. Okay, we got the battery brackets back installed. Now we're going to try to put this last finish touching on this negative terminal itself. Finish tightening the bolt up on this and tightening up as well. So we can get this customer out of here. They've been waiting about 25 minutes, which is way past our deadline. We normally try to be done within 10 minutes installing any customer's vehicle, because we do have a lot of installs on a daily basis. So basically we use the filler head, just basically screwing up the cables that we took off the power grid itself, and just bone those back up with the Phillips head. This completes the job of a 2018 Jeep Renegade. And this is how you install a battery in a 2018 Jeep Renegade. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like the video. Thank you for visiting Battery Guyz with a Z Nation.